All right, well, guys, it's been quite a while since we hopped on here and gave an update. We've been slammed with the recent severe weather up in the state of Michigan. So we've been a little bit lagging behind here on this account for our partners down here in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. So we're going to hop on here while Michigan gets a break today. And we're going to talk about the upcoming pattern here for the Great Lakes region as a whole. What's up, Mystic? Glad to see you in here. So, starting with today, we do have a level 2 out of 5 risk here for portions of southern Indiana, south central, and eastern parts of Ohio. And then a level 1 risk there in dark green that comes back a little bit further to the west to parts of central Indiana and west central Ohio there. The main hazards today for this risk to our south into Ohio and Indiana is going to be damaging winds as your first risk here. Second risk will be large hail, although that risk is going to be highest down here towards the Ohio River here. Still a low risk here in that darker coloration, brownish red color, but also the chance of a tornado or two possible, especially north of Columbus towards Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown. That general vicinity up there in Ohio, there in the green color, is where we're concerned. There's also a low risk down here by Carbondale, Marion, Illinois. We're going to keep an eye on these today. We don't expect things to get too out of hand, but the risk is certainly there, and we're going to keep an eye on it and post on the pages as things develop. Outside of today, we do have once again multiple chances of severe weather upcoming for the region, starting with tomorrow, Friday here, or actually, as this is going to be 2 days away, so Friday. This is going to be for portions of Southwest Michigan, South Wisconsin, most all of Indiana here, and then all of Illinois as well as South Wisconsin. I think I already said Wisconsin. This is going to be a damaging wind, large hail event. We're not seeing too much in the way of a tornado risk here. And there is mention of a possible upgrade to level 2, which is going to be that yellow slight risk here for portions of this region. So it could be up here in our region or it could be down south here, Arkansas, Missouri, those areas. We're going to keep an eye on that. Doesn't look to be too much of a concerning threat with that. But regardless, it is a risk nonetheless. We're going to be watching just in case things get out of hand with that. But then we do have multiple more chances we're watching here for parts of the region, mainly going to be here on Saturday. We're going to look at very far southwestern Wisconsin. We're not going to get too in depth with that. And also for Sunday, a large portion of the region here is in a slight risk across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and southwestern Ohio. So Wisconsin, Michigan may escape this risk. But diving into some of these models here to get an idea of what we're kind of looking at for today with that risk out there in Ohio and Indiana. Looking at pop-ups along the cold front here, this model doesn't depict too much happening. Later on this afternoon and evening, it does pick up there just a bit as we get into the evening sunset hours. Those should remain pretty subtle, but again, any storm that can pop up today will and has already been producing some severe weather over towards Youngstown. I've looked at the models there. It's currently over by Erie, Pennsylvania, but luckily have not got any reports of damage out of the area, mostly confined to Pennsylvania regions. But additional showers and storms are possible along that front today in Ohio and Indiana. But as we get into the next couple of days, we're going to look ahead here to Friday with that risk for a large portion of the region. Looking at Friday, we're going to see these storms out here in Illinois. They're going to develop here early afternoon on Friday. This is 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central. Moving that through the time frame here, they're going to push across Lake Michigan and arrive in Michigan there roughly 7 p.m. And we also have supercellular thunderstorms developing in Illinois here, as well as portions of Indiana. So we're going to watch this for a decent threat that may develop here. As we see, there's the marginal green risk level 1. It's a low risk, but still models are indicating that this may be a day to watch here. So we're going to keep an eye on things. We're not going to get too in depth until we have more confidence, but overall, looking at the ingredients here, it does show some ingredients being in the vicinity of Friday here in the area, some Southwest Michigan. We're basically where that risk is at. Pretty easy communication there between models and the SPC risk. So good placement there. But I do think Friday is a day to watch here if you live in the risk area for some potential severe. Thinking it's going to be mainly damaging winds and large hail, but again, not going to rule out a tornado or two possible given some of these parameter spaces we're seeing. Luckily, or not luckily, but likely going to be further off to the south where better instability is going to be had down here. We're going to see higher coloration, Illinois, but we do see some creeping up here into Michigan as well, and most of Indiana. As we get into the evening hours, it shifts over into Ohio as well. So Friday is a day to watch, but zooming ahead here to Saturday, Sunday, in particular Sunday, is catching our eye, more so for the a more populated region or area of the region here. Looking at the supercell composite reflect or parameter here, where the coloration is, it's basically telling us the higher parameter space could be. Here's Friday. We're going to see a really good placement here from the ensemble members. But as we get into Saturday, it's going to creep up there for South Illinois. But as we get into Sunday, we're going to see that creep north there. So a good large portion of the region, way up from the border of Wisconsin, somewhere into southern Michigan there. But most of this is going to be down here, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. So with that all being said, this is going to be an active stretch of weather here for the region. Luckily, it looks like Wisconsin and Michigan may miss most of this. There's a couple days here we're going to watch, Friday and Sunday in particular. But if you live in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, the streak here of activity just continues to pound us here so far this spring. We've had to, Ohio already has 57 tornadoes this year. Indiana has 27. Illinois has like 46. Like, we're just getting slammed down here, and we're not even at peak season. So we're going to watch this. We have multiple more chances coming up. We're going to try and keep you guys updated here. We are running multiple accounts, so it's kind of hard. Our focus is mainly on Michigan, but when Michigan misses out, we do focus heavily on Indiana and Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin as well. So luckily, with Michigan gets a break. Looks like most of Michigan gets a break at least. So we'll be covering Indiana and Ohio primarily, as well as Illinois probably, with the upcoming pattern here. So Friday, severe potential. Today, also in Ohio, Indiana. Friday will be the next risk there. And then looking ahead to Sunday, another risk there to keep an eye on. So active pattern continues, guys. That's the update for you. We'll keep you guys updated as best as possible. With that being said, I see Chas in here, see Mystic, Nikki. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining here on the alternative account here. Yeah, no sleep at all. We were up. Joel and I were up until what was it, like 3 or 4 in the morning last night covering. Luckily, didn't have too much in the way of things to talk about, but you guys kept us awake over at MSC. So just got the statement out of Iowa from yesterday's storm. So those of you who are watching, who are aware of the Greenfield tornado out in Iowa yesterday, just came out that the initial storm survey has confirmed at least EF3 damage. That will likely go higher in the coming days, but they are out there confirming that right now. They're surveying damage from yesterday's storms. So at least EF3 in Greenfield, Iowa. I do not drink caffeine. I have not touched caffeine in over a year and a half. What's up, Alan? What's up, Denise? Yeah, luckily, guys, this is the regional account here. So Michigan does have some concern for Friday, especially along the 94 corridor. I think towards southwest Michigan will be the highest area of concern. It's not, a high concern at this point, but if there's concern, it would be in that area for Michigan. And then Sunday looks to say pretty much south of the border, although I'm not going to rule out it creeping back north here. We're still about 100 hours out from Sunday, so it can definitely change. So we're going to keep an eye on things. We're not going to lock anything in just yet. Our focus right now is going to be on today for Ohio, Indiana, which is your risk right here. Damaging winds is your primary, large hails your secondary, a tornado or two possible up toward Cleveland, Youngstown, Akron areas is certainly possible as well. But aside from this, Friday is going to be our next day we're going to zone in on. We're going to dive into model data here this afternoon and getting updates out in the pages. So expect updates this evening if you're in this risk area. So after this, we're going to turn attention to Sunday, but also can't forget Saturday down here in Illinois. But Sunday looks to be a wider area of the region, even an enhanced risk already down here, down by Carbondale, Marion, Evansville. So busy active times here, guys. Let's take it one day at a time. Start with today. If you live in Ohio, Indiana, had that risk today, we'll try and keep you guys updated as best as possible. And then focus is going to shift to Friday. Appreciate you, Dawn. But yeah, that's all I got to give you guys today. We'll have an update probably tomorrow in terms of how it's evolving. And again, if anything gets too out of hand in Ohio, Indiana today, we will go live. At least we plan to go live. We'll see how it all trends. Models don't look overly concerning, but again, with that cold front swinging through with the warm, unstable air down there, we could definitely see some scattered damaging wind gusts across that slight risk region. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And again, expect an update for Friday here coming in the next couple of hours from us. All right. With that being said, we're going to hop off here. You guys have a great day. Enjoy some nice weather and a break. If you're in Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, a break from severe weather today. But do plan for more activity here in the coming days. So you guys enjoy your afternoon. I will see you guys tomorrow on this account here for another update.